lot of you who already know me, when I describe my wife, I always talk about her as being very Catholic. And what's interesting about that is that I was raised Catholic. My grandmother's 3 sisters were nuns. So it's been very strong in my life. But lately what's interesting is she asked me if I wanted to go to a class, 7-evening class, on the Holy Spirit. Well, what's interesting about that to me is because as a kid, the Holy Spirit is just a bird flying around in the sky with a twig in his mouth. And I'm trying to understand what that's about. And I have to tell you, like right now in my life, I'm going to be 75 in 2 months. And what I know is that, especially at this time of my life, I'm supposed to be in the mentor time of my life. It's like I've had 46 years in my work. I work with people about their bodies. It was interesting, I even got into this work because I was interested in consciousness, the same thing we're doing in this room. I was so interested in it that I went out to California and I did the S training. And it blew my mind. It helped me. I walked in there with long hair and a beard and all that. I finally got out of the Army and all that, out of the National Guard and all that. And I was sitting there and I told them I wanted to get God out of the training. And they said, well, wait a minute, how would you measure that you got God? And I said, I couldn't come up with anything. So they said, well, what else could you get? We're not telling you you're not going to get God out of this training. But what would you be able to measure afterwards? And so what I finally came out of my mouth and said, I want a better working vocabulary. And I didn't even know what that meant when I said it. Except for, if you're sitting around with friends smoking marijuana and stuff like that, you go, oh, wow, man. It's like, what I wanted to do was be able to really communicate what's really in my heart. So I was so blown away by that training because I actually had an experience of God in the training. What I did was I ran into my resistance. I ran into that they told me that I was needed to get that I caused my life. Now, a Catholic, you're not supposed to do that. That means God's in charge. You're not the cause of your life. So I flipped out. I went into this, I was sitting in my seat, collapsing, going like this so much, the lady next to me still looking at me going, oh my God, what's going on with him? I actually even went down into hell. I looked at hell. And I realized that God could eternally damn me to hell for saying this, forgetting that I caused my life. But they're saying cause is going to help me figure out my life. So I finally got that God, if he knew I was going for him at the same time, he wouldn't condemn me forever. He would know that this is what I was up to. So I have to tell you, this is the way our minds work. They process all this stuff that keeps us in a certain level of resistance and craziness. And so all of a sudden I decided I caused it. And I woke up, looked around the room and saw everybody. I could feel everyone in the whole room. It wasn't like I was in my own little singular place. I came out here. I felt everyone. I looked up at the trainer in the front of the room, and it's like I could feel him, not just seeing him, but feeling the energy of him. Like my eyes were perceiving not just solidness, but the wave of people. It was mind-blowing. And right now, I have to tell you, I went into the first night trying to decide if I wanted to go to that class with my wife or not. And I'm sitting there resisting, going, they're going to try to make me believe in Jesus the way they do and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sitting there going, like that. But then all of a sudden I felt this kinship with everybody. That the energy that they were in might not have the same words. But the kinship was there. The energy was there. All the same. It was like, oh my God. They're in this energy. They're in that looking. They're in this experience. They're in the present. It was just incredible. So, writing my book is not about thinking up things. I believe we're always guided all the time. There's something else that's right in the book. I wake up in the morning and I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and it's like, it's right there for me. So it's coming from a higher place, which is actually a lot easier than my thinking. Because my thinking, some of you might know, it goes around in circles. And we all do. But I'm just saying, just keep feeling that guidance. We're all being guided. So thank you.